Welcome back to CasualBiasRugby. World Rugby has come out once again. Some more law changes. I mean, some of them I feel up about, some of them I feel down about, and it is what it is. I guess at some points you think, okay, rugby's really trying to grow the game, and then at other points I think, like, whoever runs this show, they are their worst enemies at certain points. So yeah, as I said, I've got mixed feelings about it. I want you guys to come into the comment section. If you guys agree with some of the law changes, tell me why you agree with it. If you disagree with it, tell me why you disagree. You know I love an active comment section where we can have kind of diverse opinions, even have a little debate in the comment section, which is absolutely lovely. Anyway, but please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you guys. Go up top to these socials of mine. Go give it a follow. I will truly appreciate it. But anyway, that's not why you are here. You are here to talk rugby. You're here to talk about some of the law changes. Here are the law changes that World Rugby has come out with. And I see one of them aren't on the list. I'll talk about that one first. And it's a 20-minute red card that's about to be trialled again. I don't know why it's being trialled. I think it works exceptionally. I think it's brilliant for the game in terms of when a player gets a red card, he gets sent off for 20 minutes, which is obviously a double yellow card. So the team plays with 14 men, but then they can go back to 15 men. The guy that got the red card cannot get back onto the field. And I think it's great for rugby because you look at the World Cup final, there will never be that thing of, well, the red card costed us. You know, it takes away from the spectacle a bit when a team goes down to 14 men. Obviously, it's glorious if they still go on and win the game. Teams do lift their game when they go to 14 men because they know they have to put in that extra work. But I do like the 14 men, the 20-minute red card. My bad. I'm all over the place today. I do like the 20-minute red card just because you're still punishing the team. You're punishing them for 20 minutes, but then you're bringing it in as a fair game. Because we see so many of these that you would consider as rugby collisions, right? And then the player gets a red card when it's no real malicious intent. Yeah, his form should have been better. Yeah, he should have been lower in the tackle, for instance. But it's a red card worthy. But is it worthy to punish the team for the rest of the game necessarily? I wouldn't say so. So I think it kind of, you punish the team, you punish the player massively because he can't get back onto the field. You punish the team still by having to make that early substitution so the other guy has to play a lot of minutes, for instance. But yeah, I just think it's a great rule. I think we've trialled it enough to kind of just bring it in. If you're one of those guys that do like it to be traditional game, red card is red card, I fully respect that. I can see why you want that. But I just think like this is one of those rules that I think is very good for rugby. Because so many times we speak about it and it's like, oh, the red card costs us, or there's no fighting back after that, or it just killed the game off. And that kind of just makes that there's still uncertainty of what the result could be. You never know what could happen. That 20 minutes, a team could struggle to score in that 20 minutes and then you're back to full 15. Anyway, let's move on to the second one. It's the reduced conversion time. They say conversions attempts limit to 60 seconds, aligning with the penalty kicks and quickening game pace. Fully agree with that one. Two out of two so far for World Rugby. I do agree with that one. I don't like the fact that they could have either done one of two things. One is stop the game clock while the player needs to take their kick, or make it 60 seconds and then the clock can keep running. But this thing where players wait until 5 seconds left after they've already had a minute and a half to 2 minutes, that is taking a minute and a half to 2 minutes out of the game that we actually want to watch rugby. I actually feel the time should be stopped and you only have 60 seconds to take the kick. That doesn't take away anything of the spectacle. You see more rugby and the kick gets taken quicker. So I fully agree with this one. I don't like it when players sit there and you wait for 2 minutes for a kick to be taken. I mean, they blow the whistle for a penalty. You run to the toilet, go and have a shit, go and drink a beer, make some coffee, get back to the TV, and there is only placing the ball. So yeah, I do like this 60-second rule. Anyway, moving on, 30-second scrum and lineout limit. Scrums and lineouts must be set within 30 seconds, managed by the referee. I do like this one. We also saw this implemented in the Rugby Championship. It means that the set pieces are over and done with quicker. I do think people have the misconception that this isn't great for rugby when it comes to scrums and lineouts. I absolutely love it. I think it's what makes rugby rugby. When you have literally like a ton of people, a ton in weight, and a ton in weight of other people just smashing into each other, trying to assert dominance. I just think it's brilliant. I love the spectacle of who's the strongest when it comes to scrum time. we judge so many props and hookers on how good they are at rugby when it comes to the scrum battle. You know, it's unique to rugby. So I absolutely love it, but I do believe that there's these resets and stuff, it gets a bit much at some point. So I think the 30-second one, brilliant rule. We keep our scrums, we keep our lineouts. That, in my opinion, good rule. So they're 3 from 3 at the moment. But here comes the most utter piece of bullshit in the world. And we saw this at the, what was it, the Young World Cup or the Under 20 World Cup. Marking in the 22. Players can now mark the ball inside the 22-meter line from a restart, encouraging more contestable kickoffs. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I understand that you want to encourage more shorter and contestable kickoffs, but teams aren't going to do that. Why are you going to kick the ball and have the other team gain the ball 60 meters on their own 60-meter line and they can do some sort of attacking move from there? People kick the ball deep from a kickoff so that they can get the other team to kick the ball out, and then automatically you have an attacking line-out, your own attacking line-up. It's part of the game. Like, this doesn't take away any of the spectacle when you can't mark the ball in the 22. So what we want to do is have a guy kick off and then have the ref immediately blow the whistle for a mark. He kicks the ball out and immediately blow the whistle again for a line-out. That is ridiculous. You want to hear the whistle being blown 3 times in 10 seconds? No. No, that's not a way to start a rugby game at all. You want to see that kickoff deep, guy running in, getting smashed. It sets the intensity for the game. Now, you don't get that initial hit and you're just like, okay, well, now that's just a bit of a dull affair. I mean, look at, for instance, South Africa that took on Ireland in the Rugby World Cup in the group stages game. I think Damian Willemse got the ball, literally first touch of the ball, got absolutely smoked. Stepped one guy and then got smoked by the next bloke. And it just set the tone for the game. You knew this is going to be a physical game. Marking in the 22, that is a horrible rule. That is when I talk about like the own enemy. I do not understand. I do understand getting more contestable kicks, but a kick can still be contestable and deep unless the guy kicks it until like the 5-meter line. But other times, guys get the ball, they hardly get a meter to move forward, and all of a sudden they get smoked. That's what I love about it. Like, why would you change that? Getting a mark straight from the kickoff it's like blasphemy. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Anyway, rule number 4, single stop mauls. The ball must be played after one stoppage in the maul, improving the game flow. I think they brought this in the Rugby Championship as well. I don't have an issue with it. I know people maybe expected me to have an issue with it, seeing that I'm from South Africa and we use it a lot. But yeah, who likes it when guys just pile into the maul and wait forever and it's just a squeeze and a squeeze and a squeeze and you don't really get anywhere. So I understand with the flow of it. I don't think it was a necessary rule to necessarily bring in. But yeah, I can understand it. So I won't say too much about it. I think one stop is enough for a team to get the line out, try and push. If it doesn't work, get the ball out. That's kind of what I'm thinking is based on, and then I'd agree with it. So only just the one rule that I kind of want to dispute at the moment. Anyway, next up you have play on in uncontested lineups, and I mean they're having a couple of absolutely goodies here. Like I didn't expect you to actually be happy with these line out with these law changes, but when a team doesn't contest for the line out, you don't deserve to get the ball. Like, it's plain and simple. So if the guy doesn't contest for the line out, you can throw it skew. They never would have got the ball. They expected never to get the ball. Play on, game goes on. There's no need to blow it and then have a scrum and whatever, right? So I fully agree with this one. Yeah, as I said, it's to reduce unnecessary breaks. It is. Fully agreed. Anyway, and the final one, and I fully disagree with this one once again. Protection of the scrum-half. Enhanced protection for the scrum-halves at scrums, rucks and mauls encourages fluid open play. What are we doing here? Are nines like some sort of protected species in this beautiful game of rugby? Like, it's a physical sport. Like, who doesn't like a bit of shithousery at the breakdown? Like, you can't give them just clean ruck ball, because then obviously the attacking move works and it puts you on the back foot defensively and those type of things. You know how crucial it is to have a bit of argy-bargy and stuff with the nine. What is this thing about all of a sudden protecting the nines? Like, I don't get it at all. It's never been there. What are we doing? Like, have them grab the 9 a bit, have them pull a bit of shithousery. You get these 9s that literally pull all the shithousery in the world. That's their job. But you can't do anything back to them. Are you kidding me? You get these 9s at scrum time stepping on the other 9's toe, or pulling down his lace, or pulling out his laces, or holding him by the shirt. You see these guys that they try and roll out of the ruck, but the 9 just goes and lies on them. Jaden Henriksen, literally like that. So 9s can do anything in the world that they want, but you can't touch them. No, please. Get rid of that. Get rid of the marking 22, and then I'd be extremely happy. But there's 2 law changes that I feel needs to be brung in. And I can't believe that we've had so many law changes. It actually aggravates me. But these 2 things are still there. Firstly, get 9s to throw in the ball straight in the scrum again. Like this thing where a 9 throws in the ball under his own 8th man or flank, just secures the scrum automatically. So you'll never really see the defensive team getting a counter push and pushing over the other team and getting the ball, unless they have an extremely dominant scrum. Bring the contest back into the scrum. That's why people don't like it, because they think it's just like this massive waste of time where the big boys just push against each other and the 9 just stands there at the back thinking, what side am I going to play? Any form of set piece needs to be a contestable thing, like the lineouts, the scrum. Come on. What are we doing? Please, I need us to change that law once again, where we can have an active scrum battle to see who's the best at the scrum. Now, I know you could say, oh, South Africans, you always have the best at the scrum. If it's not dead straight, that's fine, right? But make it more competitive, because you see these things where, for instance, South Africa would scrum against Argentina, absolutely smash them in the scrum, literally obliterate them in the scrum, and still not get that ball. Because they just threw it straight into the back. So you just secure your own ball there. No, please. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Maybe I'm just ranting a bit, but I think that makes it more interesting. The other rule that I still can't believe hasn't changed, we saw Nigel Owens, I don't know if it's fake, by the way, but I think it's real. Nigel Owens literally commented on a post on Twitter I saw today, where someone spoke about, what are we doing that the held up is still a dropout? And Nigel Owens said, get rid of it immediately. It makes no sense. The attacking team gets no incentive. They get nothing out of good attack, trying to actively score a try. Because now the team holds it up, good defense, now defend the scrum. Right? But this thing where they just get a freebie dropout, drop it about 60 meters back, that is complete bullshit. How does that make any sense? I've called this out from the start. It makes no sense. I don't know. I don't know how that is still a rule. But yeah, I actually planned on, when I saw it initially, I was like, okay, I'm gonna rant once again continuously, and I know I have gotten into a bit of a rant, because these are blatant things that they need to change, in my opinion. And then there's things that I'm like, okay, that's good change. That is good for rugby. But we know World Rugby, they can be their own enemy. I mean, they say they do this for the fans, and they heard this from the fans. I call utter nonsense on that one, because these are the same guys that are so selfish that when fans create content on Twitter or TikTok or YouTube where they actually just use a bit of the game clip in the Rugby World Cup, they copyright strike it. So don't tell me that all of these things are always to grow the game with these guys. I mean, they just copyright strike literally everything. It is a farce. Okay, so I won't take it that they're always talking about what the fans want. I think they're lying. They did not get this from the fans, because no fan would agree with the 22-meter mark from the kickoff. No fan would agree with protecting the scrum-half even more. No, I can't believe it. I won't believe it until someone actually in this comment section comes and tells me why those 2 things are good for the game. Because the reasoning that they gave, no, please. Anyway, let's see what they said these rule changes could influence in the game. Okay, and this will be our final topic. Okay, please, I know I said it at the start, but please do remember to like and subscribe. It is free, and I do appreciate it, you guys, and it does mean a lot to me. Anyway, what this means for the game. So we have an increased ball in play time, up by more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds, reaching more than 33 minutes per match. Well, depends where you look. Obviously, with the kicking, with the conversions, and with the 30-second scrum and line out. I can see that. But it takes a bit away from it if you call a mark from the kickoff, don't you think? But I get that one. Shorter total match time, reduced by 3 to 5 minutes due to fewer stoppages. Yes. Also, once again, just because of the first two, higher restart contestability, a 45% increase in contestability restarts. I don't think teams are all of a sudden going to kick off on the 10-meter line. Like, I can't see that happening, because if the defensive team, they can lift their own player in the air, he probably gets it, and they can run an attacking thing from there. They're not going to kick it first thing then. Like, teams won't do that off the kickoff if they don't have the security that it's going to be very contestable. That's why they do the deep kickoff. So they're not going to all of a sudden switch it, because the team's still going to mark it, and they're still going to kick it out, and then you are probably just a bit further away on your own 50 meter, and then we see a up and under straight off the bat. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see. Anyway, more dynamic mauls, a 10% increase in ball out time, with maul duration shortened by 3 seconds. Possibly. Yeah, because you only get one shove, and then you have to stop and get the ball out. I can understand that one. Fewer line-out infringements, play on from not straight throws led to increased line-out success and contestability. Fully agree. That's why I said, if you don't jump, you don't get to contest the ball. Right? That ball you can throw that ball to the bloody 10 if you want to then. Right? If they don't jump, they didn't put themselves in the position to even get the ball. Right? So it's not unfair, in my opinion. There you go. I agree with that one. Quicker set pieces and kicks, scrum and line-out setup times dropped, and goal kicks are 15 seconds faster. Should be more than 15 seconds faster. Yeah, make it 45 seconds to kick, for all I care. Anyway, but that is kind of what they brought into this thing. As I said, some of them I feel good about, some of them not so much. I do think it's an interesting discussion. I would love to hear other people's perspectives on it. Because for the first time, I actually think there's some good things, but this thing where we have to trial everything, like, stop trialing something unless it's like a drastic change. Why does it need to be trialed to have shorter kicks? Why does it need to be trialed again? We saw it in the Rugby Championship, to have a shorter time when it comes to the scrums, get the boys to get to the rucks quicker. Why does it need to be trialed for a ball to be thrown in straight into the scrum, you know? Yeah, but if you want to trial the marking in the 22, sure, buddy, go for it. But yeah, trial that one, don't implement it permanently. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you guys. Do remember to like and subscribe. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for a little URC preview. Thank you.